Three, two, one. Lights, camera, action. Calvin, we are live with Calvin on Saturday live with Calvin on the Walk of Faith channel. Hey Calvin, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
We're doing pretty good, doing pretty good. I know that we don't have many people on Walk of Faith that watch the channel, that don't watch the stream, but we're going to go ahead with this broadcast anyway, and we're going to talk about physical appearance and how it affects your perception of people versus the reality of the people and what's going on in the spirit, in the Holy Spirit realm that you may not see, because if you base all your perception on physical, you don't get a clear picture of the person's reality, the person's makeup, because we are made up of spirit, soul, and body. Body being one component of a triune. And so you're just totally discounting spirit and soul if you make an assumption based on physical. And so with spirit, soul, and body, we have to move forward in this world. And Calvin's here to kind of break it down for us as far as what's your thoughts on that, Calvin?
Well, your cosmetic appearance is is who you are, and you shouldn't want to re-enhance your cosmic appearance because who you are is who you are.
God made you to be.
Yeah.
And I always had that same feeling. Like I always hated the fact I had a big nose. I thought, oh, this nose, I'm never gonna get a date. No women's ever gonna want this guy with this big old nose that I got. It's an inheritance from being part of a French lineage. A lot of people in France, for some whatever reason, had big noses, and so you know, I thought, well, man, I'm lucky I didn't grow up in World War II. When the Nazis were around and they were measuring your nose, and if you had a big nose, you were considered Jewish, and you had to go to a concentration camp. So I'm just happy that this nose hasn't hindered me too bad. But still, I kind of like you're saying, I've always kind of judged myself on that physical appearance, and it's always been kind of like a part of me that I disliked. I always thought, why did I God give me this big nose?
God gave you a big nose for a purpose.
to,
Everybody
to
in
snip
this
out the bull. To
everybody in
snip
this
out the bull.
world everybody in this world is different. It's for a purpose. God, if everybody was the same, we couldn't help one another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird world where God designed everybody completely differently. Kind of like He said that your lineage will be the sands of the sea, right? When He was talking to, I think it was it Moses, and so
Uh,
basically He meant there's be so many people that it would number the particles of sand in the beach. I mean, in the ocean, which is just a innumerable amount of people, and so all those people can't be the same. God can't make everybody the same. Some people are going to be different physically, and to think that people are just three things: they're spirit, soul, and body. So, body being the most uh, variability of anything, because I mean, some people have bad eyes, some people have bad teeth, some people have bad bone structure, or good bone structure. Bad and good being relative terms, meaning that maybe their health isn't that great in that arena, or it's all the physical is made up of so many components that any little one component goes wrong, it can set off a chain reaction. A person gets a little nerve issue, it could create all sorts of other problems. So we should never ever judge people on physical. That's what I firmly believe, that, Calvin.
that's why when some people say I'm not normal, I ask that person, Okay, I give you that. But let me ask you this. What if I'm normal and you're abnormal? Cause I flipped it around. Cause there's no such thing as normal. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, there is not. And what's important really is what's in the spirit, because that's what God sees. Uh, because He doesn't see us until we're dead when we walk into that new dimension, and that's the
No,
body that God sees.
no, God sees it all. God is everywhere.
Well, I
Even
understand, but what I'm saying though is that when He sees us, He sees us from outside, from where He's at, through everything. But what I'm saying is when we step into that dimension, when we go through the Holy of Holies to get to God, we're in a spirit form at that point. So
yeah.
we have to operate spiritually, and we got to look at other people and what's in their spirit, not what's in their physical.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have physical addictions. The flesh is weak. The flesh will go after things that don't need to, it doesn't need to go after. Drugs. We talked about this on the live stream last night. Drugs, pornography, other things, and the flesh being weak is also subject to sin, and sin will create problems with the flesh. So you know, it's just obvious that we need to operate spiritually, and that's how God healed people, because He accessed spiritual powers to heal the physical.
We did a live stream last night.
Yeah, the talking about pornography addiction and how to overcome addiction, calling it slavery. It's on the other
Oh,
channel, the Mike
oh
Ep
yeah.
channel.
Oh yeah.
So, Calvin, like, what kind of experiences have you had that you know where people judged you on your physical versus your spiritual?
Well, this happened when I was 5 years old, so I grew up with it, and kids used to always take advantage of what they had. So I don't really understand why people have the nerve to look down on themselves.
Yeah, and you're talking what happened when you were 5 years old, as you got hit by the truck.
Yes. So getting back to that question, people really have a low tolerance for pain because they don't understand what they have.
Yeah, they don't know what they've got until it's gone, basically.
I made that statement, remember?
Physical is a really small determinant, and it can create all sorts of problems about how you judge people, and you can create false judgments based on that. Hey, get out of there. Go to your bed. My dog is creating problems. Hang on right now. Go to your bed right now. Go to bed. Go to your bed. Go to bed. She's not paying attention. There she goes. Okay. Sit. Sometimes these dogs. Sorry about that interruption, Calvin.
People have their own mind. That's why this kid spread that rumor that I saved the kid's life, and that wasn't exactly true. You heard about it, didn't you?
Yeah, he's what did you say? I'm sorry, Calvin.
Some people, so this kid said that I pushed a little girl out of the way of a car, and that's not what really happened.
Yeah, you didn't. But and how does that? I mean, that wasn't your physical though that created that, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say was your physical issue in that regard? How did they judge you?
They judged me because they thought that this kid wanted to make me look like a fool. She wanted to make me look like I did something heroic because she didn't even know.
Yeah. So, but what kind of other experiences have you had where you're talking about just the physical, where people were judging you? I'm sure you had more than just that incident.
Well, I got beaten up when I was growing up.
You got beaten up, and people judged you thinking that you were not physically able to fight back, so that you had bullies that would come and basically beat you up, it sounds like.
Yeah, but they were surprised when I knew where to touch and hit.
It's a very, very uh, difficult situation because bullying is actually a very prominent aspect of American culture for some reason. Some
No,
societies don't have as much problems with that.
really.
Sometimes.
When you was growing up, did you have a hard time at school?
Uh, I got bullied.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yep. The bullying is a very bad situation, and because I was thin and scrawny, I was a little kid, very scrawny.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you. I mean, all I know is that we are in deep we are in deep doo doo because people basing their physical their decisions about what's going on in their life on physicality is a bad situation.
Really?
Yeah, I would say that. Wouldn't you?
No, I would
Give me your
say
opinion.
like,
I want to hear your opinion, Calvin.
huh?
Give me your opinion. I want to hear your opinion.
No, it's because they don't understand what they have. Because you can judge anything, but if you don't know how to treat yourself, you wouldn't know how to treat anyone else because you wouldn't know how to handle life as it comes.
Yeah. So, what do you think we ought to do about it? I mean, is there any solutions to this, Calvin?
There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it is just do your part and just say, at least I'm doing my best. What about you? You're not even trying. You're not even trying to do your best. You're just pointing fingers.
So that's what you think. That is mostly those people out there should just do their best, and that would
Yes.
be the way to fix this whole situation.
Yeah. Because they're just jealous.
They're jealous because you have a close relationship with Jesus.
No, because they don't have what they want. And you see, uh, the way I look at it is people want what the other person have.
Yeah. What do you think, though? I mean, is is how many people judge based on physicality? You think most people? Has that been your experience? Like most people judging you, or
No, just a handful.
oh, that's good. That's good because you don't want the averages to be out of skew. Because I know I try not to judge, based on physical, right? Because there's a spiritual component to people. Like most people don't know that you've been to see Jesus, that you've died and you went and saw Jesus Christ when you were in a coma, and so that's a very powerful spiritual thing that you have that actually most people do not have. So to judge a person and say, oh, because you have some physical ailments relating to an injury does not mean that you haven't gained, that you're on a whole other level spiritually than most people, that you're actually on a higher level spiritually because you've been to see Jesus and he gave you instruction specifically, whereas most people don't even have that. They're just wandering around aimlessly through life, voting for
But
corrupt
but
politicians and, whatever.
but the way you can tell where the person's heart lays, you gotta pay attention to their movements.
Yeah. Pay attention to their movements.
Yeah, their actions, because their actions speak louder than words.
What are we going to do about it? How are we going to change it besides just people doing it on their own? Is there any way to kind of like just operate spiritually to pray, you think? Or what would you think?
They'll have to learn this the hard way. Because if they keep going at it the wrong way, they're gonna miss out on true life. And if they get too much of being missed out,
Uh-huh.
they're gonna get the picture.
I don't know.
Because
Go ahead, Calvin. Sorry. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. Sorry, I said go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
It's because they don't know what it's like to lose something. When they'll get the picture, they'll find that this life for me is harder than it is for the average person.
Yeah, so they're losing out, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Well,
cause
go ahead.
cause if they seen how I lived my life, they would know the tragedy I had to go through.
Yeah. And they just want to base things on the surface level, is what you're saying, and they're not digging deeper into the whole event or the whole situation. Is that kind of like what you're saying?
Yeah.
And that's important because it's what defines an individual is the events and the things that person has been through their entire life, and that's what really defines that individual and how they perceive the world. So to really know a person, you have to know more than just the surface level. You have to know deeper into their makeup and like why they are the way they are. And so if you don't only take time to judge people based on physical appearance, you're never going to get a good idea of what's really going on in their life. Is that a pretty good assumption there, Calvin, or pretty good estimation?
Analogy.
I mean, I agree. It's just that's the way we should operate. I mean, people tend to do things on a surface level, and that's why we have so many problems in society. They don't operate thinking spiritually, just like how you said, you thought pornography was slavery because you're digging deeper.
No, it is slavery.
But I'm saying is on the surface level, people who operate on the surface level are only looking at the pictures. They don't give a damn about the actual person in the picture. They're not thinking more deeply. They're operating on a surface level. And that's not the way to operate your life.
That's
Do you
why
agree?
you have to. That's why you have to search it out. That's why.
They could reveal that deal anytime they want. They got Joe Biden by the you know what. And don't tell me they don't have tapes and recordings also.
What are your thoughts about it?
I just think it's time to end all that. We need to operate deeper. We need to bring people to a deeper level with God, with spirituality, with what's going on in the world. And that's why this channel exists. I mean, we are here to bring people a closer relationship with Jesus Christ. And so we just want to see people, get off their whatever they're doing that's just wasting their life away. We're here to push people further into a deeper relationship with Jesus. And so that's why I'm just glad I found you, brother. I'm glad we got you on the channel, that we can talk about these things and talk about, what's going on in the world.
People are afraid sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
They are afraid of what they don't understand about the truth.
You think so?
I know so.
They're just
I
afraid.
live. Yeah, because how you think I came out the way I came is because people in Cal used to always beat me up.
Really?
Yeah. I remember one time when I first got out of the wheelchair, this guy put Hawaiian chili pepper in my eyes, and that
Oh,
hurt.
man. That
What?
was mean.
Yeah.
That is mean.
And I had to soak my head in ice water, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah, geez, that doesn't sound easy. Well, Calvin, all I can say is that, try not to let their actions dictate your reactions. We
I
can't control what happens to us, but we can control our reaction to it.
but every action creates a natural reaction.
Yeah, that's what we kind of discussed last night. You'll get reactions to your actions.
But if you if you don't know who you are and you cannot think, you don't know how to act.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know who I am, but a lot of people don't, and they don't know how to react. They just react defensively, right?
Sometimes I do act defensively.
I think everybody does out there. I mean, people, are naturally going to act defensive.
Really?
Yeah, it's just human nature, to get defensive over something. If you feel like you're being attacked, you're going to put up your wall, put up your defense. But it's not easy to operate spiritually, to operate on another level. That it requires discipline, requires practice.
I know when I was in Taekwondo, I had to control, but I forgot mostly of what I've been trained to think after couple of years.
Oh yeah,
'Cause I quit.
you quit the taekwondo, or you quit knowing
Yeah,
what?
I quit training with that teacher.
Well, Uh, don't try not to let that affect you, though. In a long term. That's
I don't.
yeah.
Why else do you think I talk more about Jesus?
To try to get your mind more disciplined, right?
No, to help myself. If you don't help yourself, you cannot help others.
Ah, okay.
So you see, you gotta first try to help yourself. That's why it says, like, if you deny your fellow brethren, you are denying yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Don't deny your brother. Well, I tell you, I think we kind of discussed it now. We got it out in the open, talked about it. What's your final synopsis? What's your final thoughts on this whole stuff, Calvin? About physical appearance and how we should. I kind of, I mean, like I discussed earlier, my big nose, so I mean, I can relate.
Don't ever take your appearance for granted, because most people do. They try to get like plastic surgery, and that's not you if you
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah, just accept what God gave you is that's your final synopsis, right?
Yeah,
Accept what God the Lord has given to you.
yeah.
Amen, brother. Amen. I'm glad to hear you that you've come to that realization yourself, and you're not judging yourself.
I used to long time ago, and I still do, because I want to be like everybody else. But I realized something.
Hmm.
If I change myself, I wouldn't feel the same. I wouldn't know how to accept what I had.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So just don't judge yourself. Just that's about all we can do, right?
Yeah.
And
But
I'm glad
most
you let go of doing that
most people, they don't understand what they have.
until it's gone.
Yeah.
Hmm. They want to complain and complain, and they don't realize how good they really have it.
Yeah.
I hear you, brother. That's one thing I sometimes what you're saying kind of strikes home because I've done that myself. Got myself thinking, oh, this is no good or that no good, but really I'm not taking into account how good I really do have it, and I'm so blessed by God. I really appreciate that God has blessed me in my life, and I don't take that for granted one iota. That's why I got this channel going. I'm trying to use it to help fund our missions over there. And if we can ever get the money, we can monetize this channel. We need to fund missions. And so, I don't take what God has given me, which is a good physical body. I mean, I'm not sick. I've got good, most of the time I'm doing really well. So why not take advantage of that and try to bless others? That's what my mission is. So I'm hoping you can do that too. Like, keep blessing others with your talking, and don't give up.
God gave us a mission. He gave us a test. This is a test for us.
Yeah, a test, and that's kind of like what we're all going through is a test. It's a spiritual test, right? Though, Calvin.
Spiritual warfare.
Mm. That's so true. That's so true, right there.
What?
Good point. Well, you corrected me. Spiritual warfare. That's right. That is so true. Because that's what's going on. We're dealing in a whole other war. We're dealing in a war. We're in battles on a daily basis, and so That's what's really going on. It's spiritual warfare. The people who push you around because you look different, they're succumbing to evil and they don't even know it. We have to forgive them. We have to realize that they are victims of the devil when they judge on physicality.
No,
They're
no,
being used by the enemy.
no. They're just a prisoner to their own conscience, their self-conscience, because they don't understand that life is fragile and you can lose it.
Yeah, that's true. Very fragile. That's very true. Well,
Well,
Calvin, I'm glad we talked about the subject. We're at about 30-minute mark. I was thinking we could go ahead and wrap this up. Any last thoughts?
no.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, dude. I appreciate you being on the channel. I think this is a great topic, talking about physicality. You know, I'm definitely, you know,
Blessed.
and so are you, dude. We're both blessed. So,
Bliss.
what?
No. That's okay.
Blissed?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the way I look at it is, if I can turn this channel into a money-making operation, we will turn every dime over to God. You know, that's my goal, and I really want to use this to fund our
But
mission projects.
but God don't need money.
Well, the children do, though. The children over there that we're feeding, you know, and I know that God has the capability to bless our channel, so we can use that. I'm gonna go ahead and go, Calvin. I got to get going. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
I'll see you later, bud.
Yeah, bye. See ya. Have a nice
This is
day.
Walk of Faith, and we are out of here.